coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and our home team. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the 19 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The Buffet Boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down now, Jefferson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to throw. Washington firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st and 10, Washington. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game,
did.
right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers.
That's it, baby.
and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start off with a give to Lewis. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Haskins. And he's got Shockey. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're...
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fan, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On third down, Jefferson. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that shouldn't have... hesitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A second down run with Lewis. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 64 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Washington. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd down, Jefferson. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them. And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
On second down now. Jefferson, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Back to throw. Washington. And he's got his target. That's more. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Operating from the gun. Washington throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
We'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. He's been the forgotten. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down and 4, Haskins dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the...
Into a double team and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll... Make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Haskins He finds an opening past the 40. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. A gain there of 21 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 42 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that,
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the... And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. From the gun, Washington. And able to find Kirk complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Throwing on 3rd and long. Washington. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And out now come the Vikings. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their pull.
This is caught at the 20. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 57 yards. And that is... Gonna do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his... He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Point after here coming up. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted to such points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Washington. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29. A gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Washington. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
18 Gator.
Operating from the gun, Washington to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Now the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. Which I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter? And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Back to throw. Washington is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there.